Get that thing in the background. We already talked about it. Look at my hair. I am sick. Yay! It doesn't happen every single year, but it happens when Josh goes back to school. Not saying that that's what happened here, but chances are that's what happened here. But if I cough, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna take my Ludens just to calm things down a little bit. But I wanted to talk a little bit about this little red box right here, right there. It's hard for me because like I'm looking at that. That's why I can't act. So I was scrolling through my TikToks in my days of illness, and I happened across I TikTok is got the metrics and whatever, the programming behind it that seems to know what I like, so it keeps on throwing me people or puzzle boxes or whatever, because I seem to always pause on those and have a look at it. And my number one thing is, can I build this puzzle out of Lego? Which is what I do. And so I happened across a TikTok where somebody had created a wooden box and 6 discs, and I had to put the discs in the box. It's a stacking puzzle basically, and so I decided their box didn't have a lid. I wanted to make a lid on it. So I just finished this thing. It's not my best model of puzzles I've ever done, not even by far, but it was a quick, and it's quick and dirty, and it's solid enough. I'm gonna dump these pieces out. These pieces are not done yet. I had just got on Bricklink, and I had just ordered 2x2 macaroni tiles because I don't have any. I've never, it's a newer type part, which I would not have. So I actually ordered a whole bunch of macaronis to fill in the outer roundness of this disc. Now, I was just finishing this up and making sure I could actually do the puzzle, figured it out. Because again, I always stop the TikTok before they show the solution, because then it's cheating. But I realized after I solved the puzzle that you don't need discs, you could use the blocks. And this is a square blocks that I made for other puzzles that would work exactly the same as for this puzzle. But I think that the round discs add a little bit of a je ne sais quoi, a little bit of maybe it's a little different by using round circles here instead of the squares. But I have plenty of squares in my other puzzles. I could just substitute them. Anyway, so the idea is, this is basically a 6x6 void inside the box, 6x6 void, and it is 5, 10, 15 plates high. I had to think about that in my head. Which is basically 3D stacked. So 5, 10, 15. It's just basically it's a brick on its side. So so that's how tall it is. So it's a 6x6 stud opening that's 15 plates tall, and I've made the height nice. The red is the height, not the black. So basically you have to put these 6 discs in here, and they have to be below the red. Below the red here, not about below the black. Oh, sorry, not below black, but I don't know. I probably could think of something different, so it actually makes. But anyway, the pieces when they're all stacked in there have to be below the red. And so yeah, it's a little bit of a stacking puzzle, and extremely simple to build. Now, what I do now when I have these stacking puzzles, because I found this out a few times, because it's if the hole is exactly 6x6 and 15 plates tall, putting parts that go up to 15 plates tall like this in it, and or 6x6, because that is exactly 6 studs wide there. Yeah, 6 studs wide. You have to tough time getting up, because again, Lego has very, very small tolerances. So the void would work if it was exactly 6 studs by 6 studs. It would work. The issue is that the parts then are stuck in there when you force them in there. And I'll show you this. So right now, let's put this in here. there's a little tiny gap at the top. And how I achieved that is just by, I'll show you. So this is 2 by 2, this is a 2 stud wide, and this is a 2 stud wide. But over here, we have a stud and 2 plates. So again, in Lego values, I'll show you really quick. Just look at the end. The bricks are always taller than they are wider, so they cut them up into units. The bricks are 6 units tall and 5 units wide. They're not 6 by 6, they're 6 by 5. So that's how they cut it down, just for mathematics and stuff. So if you have 2 plates, that is 4 units instead of 5 units. So a regular brick is 5 units wide, shall we say, 5 units wide. 2 plates, because plates are 1/3 of a brick. So 1, 2, 3 plates makes up 1 brick. So if a brick is 6 units tall, a plate is 2 units tall. So I don't want to I should have a pictogram or something. Try to make sense. So this over here is 1 stud wide, so it is 5 units wide. Over here it is 2 plates, or plate and a tile, but we'll say 2 plates. So it is 4 units wide. So that's 9 units altogether. So this whole thing is 6 studs wide plus 1 unit. So there's a gap. So these pieces can actually go in there, you stack them in there, and you're not forcing them in. They have a little bit of wiggle room. There's 1 unit, and it doesn't add anything to the puzzle. It doesn't make it easier. So, but what happens is that you can get the piece, and again, because it's the same way this way too. So there's a full stud wide, so that's 5 units wide, but the side is only 4 units wide. So the void is 6 plus 1 unit, 6 studs plus 1 unit, or 31 units. I think that's the math there. 5 times 6 is 30. So it's 30 units plus 1 unit of a little gap. So these things have a little bit of play in them. There's a little bit of, so they're not, you don't have to force them in. Because again, if you build a square, a hollow square, and you push bricks inside, they get stuck in there, even though they're not actually stuck or clicked to anything. They will be stuck in there until you pull them out somehow. And I don't like that. So I've been doing a lot of my stacking puzzles to have this kind of wall set up where you have 4 units wide and 4 units wide on 1 of each side, and 5 and 5, whatever the void has to be. And that gives you 1 unit of wiggle room, as they say. So, and the other thing is the lid. I put that lid on I made it hollow. So when you pile the pieces in there without, let me drop it on the floor, without trying to finish it, you can close, sure it worked every time until now. That's fun. You can close the lid, come on. There's powder there. You can close the lid. Close the lid. Well, this thing is there. Embarrassing. And so the pieces, but again, the pieces are above the red, so this isn't solved. But so I don't lose the pieces. This thing is, and I didn't bother trying to put a locking mechanism in the front. In this one, there's only 6 pieces and whatever. So I don't know exactly what the puzzle is called. I didn't get that from the TikTok. But it is a 6 disc stacking puzzle, or well, I think it's called a stacking puzzle. I'm not sure what they call these things, where you have to fill the void and make it so it can fit. I've done it. I'm happy I did it. I'm going to bring this to my next show because some people at shows are very, very interested in my puzzle making skills. Again, simplistic box. The only fancy thing is putting the plates on the side, there and there, there and there. That's just, again, just to help build the puzzle and get, again, pieces stuck in there. But it still looks relatively okay inside. You got this little gap right there that I can't do anything about, which is fine. I'm not even gonna worry about that. The hinge, I wanted the strength in the hinge, so I used a 2x2 hinge tops instead of the 1x2 hinge tops, because that just keeps the lid on better. So basically it's also just a standard box. They fill. So anyway, that's it, that's all. If you look, you can see in there, that is 4x4, and it's got a 2 stud wide, and you can stack 6 or 3 of them on top, and it doesn't go above the red. So, and then you put these 2 on the side, and then you can't fit the last one in. So this is the whole gimmick. So this thing will not fit. That's the whole idea. You have to get all 6 pieces in there. Ooh, that's neat. So that's it. That's all. These 6. I'm gonna call it the six disc stacking puzzle. That's what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna go back into my puzzle box. I'm gonna grab the squares to see if there are any variants, but I don't see how they would be. But I think the discs make it just a little neater. That's it. I wanted to catch you guys up on that. I'm trying to get over this this cold. I'm gonna put that right there so it'll be on the TV, on the video. It's not fun being sick on any regular day, but my wife and I just celebrated our 18th wedding anniversary. It's actually today. Today is our actual 18th wedding anniversary. 18 years ago today we got married. And so I set up a weekend, because today's Monday. And I purposely booked Monday off to spend with my wife, because, you know, for our wedding, but then I'm sick. So there goes that idea. So, but we had just finished a weekend, even though we were sick. A weekend away at a bed and breakfast. And we went out for dinner, and we took in a show. Once again, for me, Niagara on the Lake is just an absolutely beautiful place to go any time of year, but especially in the fall. We had a really good weekend, even though both of us are actually sick. She's very much close to the mend, and I just keep on taking my Ludens and Hall's mentholyptus, and whatever. But it was a nice weekend. We got to be with each other and take nice strolls through Niagara Lake, which is always a good thing to do. So yeah, other than that, I don't have anything coming up specifically. I don't know when I'm going to get over to the Brick Shack. The layout's still there if you still want to see it. I don't think I will be able to pick it up this weekend, because this weekend is busy with other things. I'll check with Jamie. I do have to get the whole thing back here, because I have to do a lot of rebuilding and fixing and updating for the show in November at Bricks in the Six. So when I'm actually updating parts and pieces of the layout, I'll probably make videos on them. But again, due to my illness and my lethargic because when I'm sick, it's like it's painful just to walk upstairs. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a lot of videos, but I think when the layout's back here, I'm going to make lots of videos, because I'm going to talk about the good parts and the bad parts of leaving it up running for this long a time. Because again, I've had the layout up before for months at a time, but nothing was running except for the train. And the train was just powered to turn on the light switch, and the train would go around and turn off the light switch and stop. With all the 4 monorail tracks that are now copperized and running off of battery, running off the train controllers, there have been some, for me, major issues with that, major deficiencies, because they did not stay running. They'd always have to be babysat, which I've always known. But then again, I'd be at a show for 3 days, and I could fix it as when it stopped. When I'm not seeing it for weeks at a time in Jamie's shop, and he sends me a text that the trains have stopped running, it's like, So, but the fact that it did run for as long as it did, thumbs up. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to hack up any more lungs on the camera. So that's it. That's all. I'm happy with this puzzle, and I'm happy with my anniversary, and I'm happy with how things are going in my life. And that's all we need to know. Everybody out there, stay safe, take care, and I will talk to you soon.